she bloody goes, ladies and gentlemen. What a minty rig. You can see it's about -1 outside. Oh no, it's 0. It's warming up. Well, g'day, you bloody legends and larrikins, and here we are with the 200,000 kilometre Ford Ranger review. Yes. Don't see this a lot on the old YouTubes and stuff, so I thought, you know what, we just clicked over, let's get into the pros and cons of, say, 2016 PX2 inline 5-cylinder 3.2 litre automatic. All right, now there's lots of models, there's lots of different, bi-turbos and all that junk, but I'm just going to focus on this one. And look, what is this video aimed at? Not my American brothers and sisters out there who are the majority of the subscribers on this channel. So I'm sorry, this one's not for you, all right? I love you, but no, this one is for probably the younger fellas or the young ladies out there getting into a trade and looking for a good work ute. Is it reliable, the Ranger? Is it worth your time? Because you read some horror stories on the internet about these things, and gotta say, for the most part, they are fucking bullshit, alright? So, what are some of the horror stories about this sassy rig, alright? EGR down there behind the block. Solenoids fail, right? Known to fail, and will leak coolant, alright? You see? Will leak coolant into your engine. And you'll either, excuse me, I'm trying to do a bloody video. Keep it down. Yeah, you'll blow your motor up. We'll just go with that, all right? It's known to have happened, but as with everything, all right, you have to look at numbers. You keep it down too. You have to look at the numbers, all right? And what are the numbers? Well, if I've done my homework, I'll probably put it up here. If not, then just listen to what I'm saying, all right? Hundreds of thousands of these have been sold. Probably more. I don't know what the actual number is. But let's compare that with the amount of failures in a percentage, right? Sure, it sucks, but any moving part in any machine on the planet can fail at any time, all right? There are a few key things to really, how do you get 200,000 kilometres out of something like this? And I will say, I have done no repairs. Oh, one, I changed the front disc rotors. They were getting a little bit shaky after working pretty hard, and so I changed them $400. That is the only thing on this rig that I've had to change. And so let me repeat myself just to make it clear. This vehicle is stock. The only thing I've changed is the video you saw. This is the most popular video on my channel for some reason. Just change out the muffler. I deleted the muffler. And the front brake rotor. That's it. Alright? And for those of you that have an IQ as low as mine, right, in the single digits, what I'm saying is there's a few things you can do to prolong the life of these vehicles, these diesels. And it's really no secret, but apparently it's not common sense. So shut up, you dickhead, is what you are saying right now. Get on with it. Well, all right, I will. First things first, and it's not necessarily the most important, but one way to have your engine last longer, and I don't care what any limb liberal says, warm your vehicle up, all right? Warm your engine up before you go anywhere, please, all right? Let the fuel pump, let the glow plugs do their thing. All right, this thing's already warmed up, so let them do their thing. All right, hop in. It's only about, 3 minutes out of your life? Okay, never mind that. That is a tyre sensor, and I guess that is something else I will have to change, right? tyre pressure sensor fault. There you go. Oh dear, what a terrible thing to happen. And then that's just letting me know everything's ajar. And as you can see, 200,000. Oops. There we go. Professionalism, ladies and gentlemen. Now, warm it up. Hold it down. What, 1,500? Plenty. Alright. Just let it warm up for 3 minutes, alright? It's not that long out of your day. Have a wank, bloody get your radio set up for the trip you're going on. Whatever you gotta do. But for the love of God, warm your motor up. And the opposite when you're stopping, cool it down. Alright? Let the turbo cool down. Let it idle for 30 seconds to a minute. Is all it's gonna need. And then very gently caress the key and wind it down. And I can hear it now. All you fucking idiots out there going, but John Cadogan and some other fucking cockhead on YouTube tell me that you don't need to be on that. Scotty Kilmer said you don't need to be on that vehicle. I like to finger my bumhole and fuck my sister. And that's you, alright? That's how you sound. Listen, I understand if you have an unleaded vehicle, the way to warm it up is by driving it. Petrol's a solvent after all. You're squirting all that jizz into the top, it's going to break the oil down. It's not getting oiled properly. However, the diesel is different, alright? It needs to be warmed up. It's like a lady, alright? You can't just ram it home. I mean, you can, but it's better to warm them up first, alright? And now the liberal tears are flowing. Let's get on with it, shall we? The most important thing to the life of any motor, or any moving part for that matter, maintenance, alright? You gotta maintenance, alright? Change the oil, boy! And change it now. Yes, 7,000 to 10,000 kilometers max. There's a much better channel than mine called Abandoned Automotive. Yes, he breaks down these rigs and has much better information on these things than what I could ever give you, okay? But what I'm trying to tell you is the oil pumps in these things, they're weak as hell. Some, neckbeard in an office somewhere in a suit and tie decided to use the cheapest part they could. Long story short, the fins on those pumps fail, alright? And they fail because of shitty oil running through them constantly. They wear out and then they don't pump oil to your motor properly, and then pop goes the fucking weasel. And let's talk about transmissions for a second, shall we? In the book, alright, it says you don't need to change the transmission oil for the lifetime of the vehicle. Well, Ford, shut the fuck up, because your version of the lifetime of a vehicle and our poor hillbilly redneck idea who needs this thing to run and run well for a long time, it's completely different, alright? So just shut up and sit down. Please, people, please. Every 40,000, 50,000 max, change your transmission oil. Give it some fresh stuff, get rid of that old burnt crap, change the gasket, and it'll run mint, alright? As I said, this thing, it's not just sitting here in a bloody garage, alright? It works hard for me, this rig, and it's never let me down. It's easily the best vehicle I've owned, and I've owned a few, and they were all shit boxes. Alright, next point, and this one is going to be controversial, and to be honest, I don't even know if I believe it, but it's just something that I've done in every single tank, and again, just really an experiment to see how long the injectors will last, how long the EGR will last, how long the fuel pump and everything like that will last. And they're still going, all of them. EGR, no problem, which is probably one of the loudest complaints I hear about this vehicle and all modern diesels. All right, the EGRs fail on them, as I said, and leak the juices into your motor and pop goes the weasel. All right, so I saw this product and I thought, bugger it. All right, it's not that expensive to run in every tank. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. And no sponsorship deals, but hey, if you would like to tickle my pickle, then do it. This stuff. And I know, right now, I've got, John Cadogan, Scotty Kilmer. Shut the fuck up, all right? As I said, it's just an experiment. A fairly cheap experiment, all right? So this is like $50 to buy this. And you put in, I don't know, what is it, 10 mil or something per. It says here on the thing, I can't remember. I just jam a full 100 into it every time I fill up. And it's supposed to, it claims to do a lot of shit. But at the end of the day, really, it's just extra lubrication. And, that can't be a bad thing, the lube, all right? So, you want things to just slide right in. So listen, you say whatever you want about that, all right? And whether you do it or not, I don't think it really makes that big of a difference. So you can carry on and yell and scream all you like, all right? That's just what I do. And so far, everything's worked. Injectors, still fine, all right? There's plenty of things to do. That's probably the next thing I should get into, actually. Get yourselves, where is it? A blue driver, all right? A code reader. That's just a simple one. You can get far better ones that tell you far more, all right? So, yeah. They're definitely handy. If you get any codes, throw up like that tyre sensor I just got there, right? Or whatever, you can check engine temperatures as you go on live and stuff. They're just a pretty handy little rig, and I've actually lent it out to friends in the past, right? And so they've been able to read their vehicle. But just get one yourself. They're 100-something bucks, and just lives in your vehicle. It's well worth it, all right? Oh, and I did cover this in another video. Another thing you are going to need is one of these. This is a dog thing. Now, I know you can get FORScan to turn buzzers off, and this is more for our rural people, right? If you're a rural lad or lass planning on going hunting in this rig, get yourself one of these to shut that goddamn beeping up. It's just a dog lock, all right? Hey, it's one of these things. They're like $5. Another thing that you are going to have to look for, all right? If you're, say, a young fella or fellette looking to buy one of these as your first ute, or if you've never really had much or give a shit about automotive stuff at all, check the goddamn maintenance logbooks, all right, before you buy it. If there's one thing missing, or if it's like way over all the time from the maintenance, walk away. Make sure that thing has been meticulously maintenanced, serviced, all right? Or if the guy's done it himself, you're going to have to judge, whether they're a hillbilly like me and actually do a right job. Oh, which brings me to another point. If you're changing the oil in this yourself, you got to do it within 10 minutes. Apparently there's a thing with these where, I don't really know much about it. Smarter people will tell you the facts, but my understanding is the oil leaks out of the pump after 10 minutes, and then it doesn't prime itself again, and then, again, pop goes the weasel. But listen, all right, and I know what you're saying right now, but you're leaving some, you're leaving a bit of oil, a bit of dirty oil in there. Well, it doesn't matter, right? If you're changing every 7 to 10,000 Ks, which you should do, that little bit of extra dirty oil sitting in the pump is not going to matter, all right? All right, another thing that are known to fail on these things is this hose right here, the intercooler hose. Now you can see here, they've got this ingenious set up here. It's like, oh, we'll just put two parts together in Ford's, in their wisdom. We'll just have these two parts here rubbing away on each other, vibrating forever, and we'll just slip a bit of shit over it and everything's all good for the thing. But these things fail all the time. You can get replacement ones that are, what are they, aluminium or whatever they're made of. I don't know what they're made of. And yeah, it's not too expensive. When this one does go, hasn't yet, waiting for it. When it does, that's what I'm going to go to, a hard one. That's what she said. And we should talk about the intercooler while we are on that subject. Never mind this absolute junk grill. I had a disagreement with the flood zone, the causeway that flooded and kind of ploughed into some floating debris and ripped the grill off. Still fine, by the way. Just had to get the cheapest grill I could find, and this was like the one I could. So anyway, the intercooler in there, right? They get bashed around quite a bit, as you can see. Give them a clean every now and again, get the air compressor out. You probably won't have any problems, but you might. So again, all vehicles, the wear and tear adds up over time. But this is what I'm telling you. I haven't done any of that to this in 200,000 kilometers in 8 years. So you be the judge. And I'm telling you, I'll just say it now. Been a fantastic vehicle. Would I recommend one? Absolutely. There are those things you got to do. You got to have regular maintenance. You got to keep an eye on things. Another thing, keep an eye on your coolant levels. All right, because that's a first sign that your EGR is failing. All right, if it's low, it's not where it's meant to be. It might be leaking. Your solenoid might have given up, and away she's going. So, and another way to tell is if there's a fair bit of white smoke coming out of the tailpipe. So, yeah. There are definitely things to keep in mind if you're planning on getting one of these sexy things, all right? And ask away down there in the comments. I know there's going to be a whole heap of dickheads carrying on with shit, like I was saying earlier. But listen, I'll be happy to answer any questions. I think that's really all I got to cover. That's the key points of these things that tend to go wrong. So, shut up, goddamn rooster. So, yeah, I know you guys are probably like the dog right now, having a good old snooze. I've been carrying on for a long time. Is it worth it? Yes. Get one. They're seeing some really good deals for these now. They're getting cheaper. All right. And again, if you have checked the logbooks, the maintenance book, and made sure that, it's up to scratch, that the person's looked after it, mechanically. It doesn't matter about the scratches and stuff on the outside, all right? That's just character. What matters is the running gear. Is it running well? Has he kept up the maintenance? What's been replaced? And the key among those, probably the EGR. Should probably do the injectors around 150. Again, I'm just experimenting. If the motor blows, I know it's on me, and I will update you guys about that if anything does go wrong. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess that's all. Again, any questions, ask away. Yeah, I don't know. That'll do. 200,000. It's good. One last thing before we go. Like and subscribe. Become a subby today, please. And, join the crew. It's a good time over here. We'll see you soon. Cheers.